You're watching Secrets of the Sussexes, and today we're breaking down a story many missed behind the noise of bigger headlines. During his recent 4-day trip to London, Prince Harry not only had tea with the King. He also quietly went to Kensington Palace to personally offer condolences to the Duke of Kent after the death of his wife. The visit was private, discreet, with no cameras and no press releases. But since the information has surfaced, let's calmly examine why Harry needed this, how it looks against the backdrop of him skipping the Duchess of Kent's funeral, and what it could mean going forward. First, the context. Harry's London schedule was tight: a children's charity award, the Diana Award event, then a sharp shift of scenery with the trip to Kiev. Between these stops, he fit in a 55-minute tea with his father at Clarence House, the first face-to-face conversation in almost 2 years, and, as it turns out, a quiet visit to Kensington. The key detail: Harry did not attend the Duchess of Kent's funeral. The entire working side of the family was there, many in mourning, some on crutches, but all present. Harry's absence was glaring, and online voices already accused him of ignoring and showing no respect. And then, suddenly, the news of personal condolences behind closed doors. On the one hand, this may have been a purely human step. The Duke of Kent is an elder statesman of the family, someone Harry has known since childhood. A private visit with no flashes, the most proper format if you truly want to embrace an elderly relative rather than turn a moment of grief into a photo op. The older audience understands this logic very well. Not every moment of family mourning belongs in public. Sometimes it is right to knock quietly, with no extra eyes or ears. On the other hand, there is pragmatic logic. For several days, 2 unpleasant topics hovered in Harry's press cycle: why he skipped the funeral and why he spoke about family in interviews right after tea with his father. A quiet visit to Kensington neatly shifts the narrative. The picture changes, not ignored, but expressed privately, not avoided, but chose the decent format. It does not erase the fact of his absence from the service, but it softens the perception, especially for those who value personal gestures above public rituals. Now, why did this visit leak at all? In the royal ecosystem, coincidences are rare. When a story suddenly surfaces, it is usually either a sanctioned leak or someone's account that was given the green light. The signal is simple: Harry is not shutting the door on the family, he remembers the older generation. He is capable of a gesture without cameras. And the subtler undertone: I didn't only meet my father. After a 19-month gap, one meeting could be dismissed as a formality. 2 contacts with relatives start to look like a small trend. What does this mean for his relationship with the King? Paradoxically, the quiet steps work better than grand statements. In public speeches, Harry loves to talk about truth and reconciliation. But for the palace, what matters is not new interview lines, but short visits, flowers, handshakes, 15 to 20 minutes of silence. Court culture is built this way: gestures weigh more than words, format counts more than emotion, sequence matters more than drama. If Harry's goal is to inch his way back into at least the realm of decency, this is the correct path: minimum noise, maximum tact. Of course, there's the other side. Skeptics will say, too late, the line is drawn, you won't be invited to banquets. And they'll point out that during the recent state banquet with the Americans, the palace deliberately emphasized an impersonal protocol: everything about alliances, nothing about the son living in the US. Against that backdrop, any private Harry visit to relatives looks more like image repair than systemic return. But reputation is capital, and in the royal universe that capital converts into opportunities, if you collect enough of these quiet points, one day you might be invited to the family's Christmas lunch, even if it's on a faraway bench. Pay attention, too, to the tone of the accompanying remarks: happy to see friends, colleagues, family, a pity I couldn't stay longer, already planning to return. This is careful rhetoric: I'm home and I'm comfortable here, without provocation, without grievance. Laconic, free of sharp jabs at the press, exactly the tone needed if you want to lower the temperature. For a 50-plus audience, it reads simply: at last, he is trying to speak through deeds, not complaints. And at the very least, that no longer irritates. The practical question remains: why wasn't it possible to attend the funeral and still travel to Kiev? From a planning standpoint it's difficult, but not impossible. Yet the palace has its rules. guest lists, seating, protocol, secure corridors, all agreed far in advance. If Harry wanted to attend as a private individual, the palace may have been unwilling to risk shifting the focus of the ceremony. A quiet visit to the Duke at Kensington afterward was the compromise. Respect was paid, no spotlight stolen, protocol intact. The crucial point: how does this look to the king? After their short tea in London, without Camilla, which did not go unnoticed, Charles now has some reason to extend another credit of trust if Harry continues collecting points through visits like this. But any interview about the family between such steps would cancel 2 points at once. The math is simple. One wrong word wipes out 3 quiet gestures. That means the coming months are a test of silence for Harry. If he manages it, he may earn another closed door opening just slightly. If not, the circle closes again. What does this say about the prospects of the children meeting their grandfather? If the narrative begins to be dominated by such silent episodes, then the more realistic scenario is an invitation to a country residence with secure perimeter, with no public component. For the older generation, this matters, to see grandchildren not in a TV show, not through lenses. But all of it hinges on one thing: 0 press stories afterward. The palace will not sign off on that. And finally, why did the news break precisely now, when the buzz around the banquet and Catherine dazzling had not yet cooled? The answer is simple. Against such a strong palace picture, any attempt at a public response from California would look weak. But a quiet London story, with no photos and few words, hits the right nerve. He did go, he's not entirely estranged. 1 teaspoon at a time, but better than gallons of interviews. The conclusion: a secret visit to Kensington is a small but smart move. For those who long ago gave up on him, it's not enough. For those who only wanted to see Harry show minimal respect to elders, it's a sign he is slowly learning. Whether he can continue without loud self-promotion is an open question. But this time, at least, he chose the right direction. Doors in royal houses open quietly, from the inside, and only for those who know how to arrive without cameras. Write briefly in the comments: how do you see this gesture? A human act, a cautious calculation, or a bit of both? Hit like so the algorithm doesn't bury our next video, and subscribe to Secrets of the Sussexes. In the coming episodes, we'll break down which private gestures the palace actually counts, which are just for show, and what really needs to happen for the road back into the family circle to stop being one way.